I was really scared. And I remember one of my longest rides, I didn't do it with clips. I did
Yes,
it with
yes,
just
yes,
regular
yes.
shoes. And
Mhm.
then I remember you telling me, okay, next time do it with one shoe clipped in and one shoe not. And I did it and I felt a little more comfortable
Yes.
until I finally, decided to clip, both shoes, and I did an 80-mile ride. And then that was it. The next thing I know, I'm doing the Ironman.
Speak. Hello, everyone. Ironman and beyond busy high achievers all over the world. I'm Coach Shangrila, and here you'll see Binetta on the background and also David, our special guest today. Today is very exciting. We are super excited to actually talk about this one. Are you guys ready for this? So let
I'm
me
ready.
show you. All right, let me show you what we're going to be talking about today. From zero to Ironman in 8 months. 8 months. How to finish your first Ironman strong without racing, sprint, Olympic, 70.3, or marathon while staying injury free. So for those who are new in triathlon, Ironman is 2.4 mile swim, and then you ride your bike 112 mile, and then you run a full marathon, which is 26.2. Man, that's a full day and could be up tonight. So
That's long, so
it's,
long.
it's really, really long. And then now a lot of athletes would normally do, and actually I was one of them, would normally do race sprint first. Like this is the mini triathlon, and then the next level is Olympic, so you actually go into like longer distance as you go. So sprint is the shortest, Olympic 70.3. And some athletes just for, like confidence, they do marathon, full marathon first. So they're like, okay, I got this one, or century first. Okay. And actually I was one of them. All right. And actually it took me a long time too. Okay. To actually get to the full Ironman. I did it in 11 months. Okay. But I had to go through that step by step. Okay. I even went to like super sprint with only women because I was like, I think that's what everyone do, like the women part. So I got lucky to actually go through that. But we're not just going to be talking about that. Okay. So I'm moving it here. So I could actually just get my cheat note here. All right. So a lot of the topics that we're going to be talking about today. All right. So this one is actually, we have David here who's going to help us out. So at least he could actually tell based on his experience, because it's good to actually hear from someone who actually went through that experience. During COVID year, I got comfortable, lost muscle mass, started drinking, eating anything, staying up late. Who else had done that? I mean, COVID year.
I think a lot of people had the same challenge.
Who doesn't do that? Who doesn't do that? Right? It's like, what else do you do when you're just staying at home and you can't, like, it's just like a lot of things going on that year. It was not a great year. Definitely not for just David or myself. It's just so hard. In 2021, I look at the mirror and I told myself, I got to do something. I didn't like how I look. I thought of aiming for something big. For David, he said, like, let's do an Ironman. It has been in his bucket. Okay. So we're going to go through, because I want to know.
Bucket list. Who else?
I want to know.
Bucket list.
Who here, do you have an Ironman as your bucket list? Like, you're probably one of those who's been watching on TV, and like, oh man, how could you do that? And suddenly you see a lot more people, friends around you, like they're doing it. And you gradually put it in your paper bucket list. Ironman.
Let me actually welcome the people that are on the live right now.
Sure, please, Minetta.
Yes, we have Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Glad you could
Hello,
join
Michelle.
Hi,
We have Leo. We have
All right,
Gloria.
Leo.
Alfredo. Mauricio is here.
Mauricio. Check you out, Mauricio.
The person who actually inspired David to go after his bucket list. Amazing.
Yes.
Stephanie's here. Brian's here.
Stephanie.
And Nils is here.
We got a lot of people already. We're just starting, everyone. So yeah. And that is Ironman because it was huge for him. And actually, let me go back here. Hopefully I can show like how David actually felt about it. Ever since I was a kid, I've had a competitive spirit. I'm drawn to wanting the best, to be the best at everything I do. Okay. He was so excited. And he said, that it's been on my bucket list for a very long time, and I can't wait to crush it this Saturday. It was so big for him, and he was so excited. And we're going to talk more about it. Like, let me go back there. Here you go. So other things that we're going to be talking about is that, is it possible to finish an Ironman without racing sprint, Olympic, 70.3, full marathon, or century ride? David, as for so many athletes I've coached of all different levels, David is actually the second person who had done this one, and Mauricio is watching this one, and I'll show it to you in a bit. But Mauricio also did this one, and Mauricio is here. Mauricio, and this was actually the same training, live training, that David was watching, or maybe I shared to David, finishing a full Ironman without doing sprint, Olympic, 70.3 first, and starting training without Garmin watch, without wetsuit, without cycling shorts. He went for it. That's Mauricio. Mauricio, what's up? Glad to have you as being now on the other side watching this one. Next thing, a lot of athletes are also, they're like, I can't do full Ironman. Why? Because I need to be with my family every weekend. And I heard that you have to be training long every weekend. So that's the question. Do you need to train long hours every weekend when you're training for a full Ironman, or is there like a wiggle room? Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear Dave comment on that. That's going to be great.
Yeah. And then the next thing is that, what if you don't have an access to open water? Like, for example, a lot of athletes in the East Coast, like, seriously, there's no open water because it's cold. Well, how about the athletes like, very far from open water, right? You're just surrounded by mountains or like flats. There's none. Or it could be like 3-hour drive. How could you drive that long every weekend, even on weekends, right? So, and how about, like not just you guys, but also when I was starting with triathlon, like I was like so many things to invest in, like so many things to buy. Like, I mean, if you're just going for running, you just buy shoes and you're good to go, right? You may not have a shirt too. You can just run, or like with bare feet even, and you can run. But then now you add swim, bike, run, and then now you have to like register. Now there's so many things. And that's one of the things that we're actually going to talk about. Okay. So what are the top things that you really need to invest if you want to finish a strong Ironman? Okay. The other one is also, David here has a background in CrossFit, the Spartan. So, is it enough to actually like go from just weightlifting and go after Ironman immediately? Is it possible? And if it's not, or if there's something that we need to adjust, what are those? So those, I'm sure that we're going to be, touching base, some of those topics. Have you had these incidents and questions during training? My calves cramped. I can't get volume on my run because it just cramped, like no matter what you do. Anyone else? So, every time I say something here, like I want, this one is a two-way conversation. So Vinette is actually reading, your comments. We would love to hear from you. Like that's me. I feel it all the time. Man, I can't even go for a weekend training. I don't know how I'm going to do training for an Ironman. All right. So the shin doesn't feel good when I run fast. I'm not comfortable riding on my tri bike, or like, how do you taper? Okay. So yeah. Are you guys excited for that on today's training? Who here is wanting to finish an Ironman next year? Full Ironman. Is that one bucket list? There you go.
Some hands. Who's put it on their bucket list? Put it in the comments.
Yeah. Or if not Ironman, something still big. Like, for example, some athletes are just going for triathlon, and for them, it's a bucket list to be a triathlete. That's already huge. Is that your goal, right? If it's 70.3, it is huge. I mean, that's almost like 6 hours, half a day already, or even 8 hours, right? Mm-hmm. If that's you, put down below. And if it's an Ironman, you've been wanting it for so many years. What's stopping you, or like what's slowing you down? Or what could make you really 100% confident? Okay. So put down under the comment, and Vinetta's going to read it. Would love to read it.
Gloria wants to do an Ironman. Yeah. Dina wants to do an Ironman.
So, some athletes that I've heard
Dina
Swimming,
also.
swimming is a hard thing for them. Some of them, I don't have a tri bike. I don't have time. I got kids. I'm so busy. Okay. Or like I'm hurting. My running needs work. Like I need to be good first in running before I go to triathlon. Or I need to be this first before I aim for that Ironman. Okay. Because we're going to talk about those challenges. And I would love for you to put your challenges down below because we're going to tackle those down. Today, those reasons that you're having of why not Ironman, we're going to overcome that today. But I want you guys to put that down. So if we don't even cover that on all this, during this training, Vineta and I will be commenting and making sure that you guys get answers if you guys have questions. You guys are ready? So if this is your first time to attend this live training, say, I'm new. I'm first. I'm excited. I want to know more. All right. Because we have a lot of free live training, Vineta.
Yes, we do. Just put I'm new in the comments and we'll say hi to you.
Okay. This looks like it's getting dark on my side here. There's some shadow. All right. So without waiting further, let me introduce David from Texas. David, how are you doing, David? Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. This is
Great.
David right here, finishing his first full Ironman in 8 months. Okay. And so how I met David is actually through Ironman and Beyond. He's just one of you all, okay? And I'm glad that we have Ironman and Beyond. We get to meet people from across the United States, and a lot of you guys are some outside United States. When he was watching this one, he got inspired, okay? And then so if you want to watch the replay of this one, you can just put finish Ironman, #finish Ironman. This, so at the time, Mauricio was on budget. He wants to finish a full Ironman. If you want to get access to this one, yes, please put there #finish Ironman. And also I shared this one to David for him to actually get more inspired. Hey, David, this guy here did a 70.3 in a month. Like he was just learning how to unclip, a few weeks prior to the race. That's Ken. Okay. And he did not have Garmin because the first conversation that I had with David was like about gadgets. Like, coach, there's so many things going on. So, but before we go, if you guys want to get access to this one here, okay, this one is sprint to 70.3. How could you do that? How could you jump to that without actually, injuring yourself? Okay, because we want to enjoy our sport. And actually, this guy here can finish his second 70.3 in Arizona just recently. All right.
Yes.
So once they start, they can't stop. Once they start, they can't stop because guess
It's
what?
fun.
David will go for another second Ironman.
Yes.
All right. Yay. So everyone, who else is on the line, Vineta?
We have Yelena said she's training for 70.3 in March and hopefully a full by September.
Nice. Awesome.
And she's having issues with her right hand that goes numb while swimming.
Oh, okay. Good to know that one. Just put on that. Put that on the comment, and then I'll make sure that we we give you insights on that one. All right. So David. So we met you. That was only like around February.
Yes.
8 months. Tell us, what's going on with your life then, like before we met you. About let's go back to the COVID. What made you want to do an Ironman?
Well, I had gotten COVID in 2020, and at that point, I was at the peak of my athletic performance. I was lifting weights, I was doing CrossFit, I was working out 2 to 3 times a day. I had a very strict regimen with my diet, my sleep. And then I got COVID and it crippled me. I was sick for 14, 15 days, really scared that I had to go to the hospital. I didn't want to, but I was feeling like I had to, but I was very scared because I heard a lot of people not leaving the hospital. Your loved ones couldn't go with you to the hospital, and I didn't want to be there by myself. So I ended up not going. I just stuck it out and took cold showers, took medicine until, I got better. And I decided to take a month off so I wouldn't relapse, because I know your immune system gets really affected. Those are some of the symptoms. So I took a month off just to, recover, recuperate. But 1 month turned to 2 months, turned to 4, turned to 7 months. I just got really comfortable. Eating whatever I wanted to eat because I wasn't following a diet. I wasn't lifting weights. I wasn't CrossFitting. I started drinking, started staying up late, waking up late. I got really comfortable. And by the time I knew, 7 months passed by, and in the blink of an eye. And, I saw myself in the mirror and I was like, okay, I'm not happy. Right. I had lost all my muscle. Luckily I didn't gain weight, but the muscle that I had, turned to fat. And I was just really unhappy with myself and how I had let myself go. So I went back into training, but I picked up a different sport. I started doing Orange Theory because I thought I need more cardio to lean. I don't want to start lifting weights and just get real bulky. So I did a lot of cardio, a lot of HIIT type of style workouts through Orange Theory. And we did a little triathlon. It's called a dry tri, where there's no swimming. It's a 2,000-meter row. It's 300 reps, body weight reps, and then a 5K. So like a little triathlon, but it's called a dry tri. And after that, it made me think back on my bucket list of the things that I wanted to do as a kid, because I've always loved running. I've always, ran. I ran in high school. I ran in college. So it brought me back to, man, I want to do, a triathlon, but I want to know what's the toughest one. And I remember the Ironman was the toughest, triathlon. And I said, I need to do that. And I'm not going to start in levels. Because I'm scared that if I start from just doing the small events first, I'm going to get sick again, and it might get worse, and I might not fulfill my bucket list, my dream to complete a full Ironman. So I said, sign me up for the full Ironman, and let's go.
Yeah.
So I did that. I did it. Yeah. I signed up this February. I signed up for the full Ironman.
So it was February when you actually, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. I said, let's do it.
Knowing of like how to get there, right?
Not knowing.
I love that, like you just went for it, like the big thing, because that is your bucket list. It's not your, but you probably did not even know what Sprint Olympic have.
No,
I didn't know, right?
No.
You just like, the Ironman. Okay.
Yeah.
And actually it's the same thing that I asked, Mauricio, why did you pick like Ironman right away without all those things? It's the same reasonings, because that's my goal. My goal is not the sprint or 70.3. I just went for it. Did you get, was it scary to sign up, or was it just like you went to your gut? I'm not happy. Or you were already much better then, right?
I was already much better. I started Orange Theory last June.
Okay.
Yeah. Around June, May of last year. So I had already gotten,
some fitness.
not out how I was before COVID, but I had done a lot of advancements in my sport at that point. So I felt confident, but I just didn't know what was what was coming on, right? I didn't know what to expect. I just said, I feel good. I feel healthy. I'm doing the full Ironman.
Ignorance is bliss, like I said. It's much better not knowing it.
Yes. I think awesome. If I would have known everything, I would have psyched myself out and be like, oh, there's no way I can do that. But I didn't want to.
I'm glad. I am glad. I knew the other way around. I just like, I'm so scared. Let me just do it. So when you sign up, were you scared, or you're more excited? Like excited. What was okay. Awesome.
I was more excited.
Because do you remember how long you've been wanting or put your Ironman in your bucket list?
Yeah, since my early 20s, when I found out what an Ironman is. Yeah.
Is that like 5 years?
No.
10, 15 years?
Yeah, I'm 37 right now. So.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Wow. 15, 17 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family, right? And then now it's like, okay, this is the time. So
This is the
now you
time.
went for it. You went for it.
Yes.
And actually, let me show to you. How was it during the, once you get started? What was the challenges? I know we got you cramping on your legs, or you can't get the volume. By the way, did you ever finish a full marathon before?
No.
Let me ask, how about half? Maybe a half?
No.
Not at all. Okay, 10K. Maybe I think you were just at least running somewhere in the
Yeah.
treadmill, maybe 5K or sprint, right?
Yeah. My
Not even a half marathon.
longest. Yeah, my longest was a 10K, and
Okay. Hey,
I
that's
think
that's good. That's a good start.
yeah, and that was back in 2017.
I should have asked you at the very beginning that we started like a lot of this. But so now on the cycling portion, were you riding already? Because I know you did have a road bike, right?
I had a road bike, but it was more just for fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
nothing
this
competitive, not long
this
distance.
kind of road bike, right? Oh
No,
no,
I
this
was
one is
5
baby
years old
David.
there.
This one's baby David, 5-year-old. No, not this one. So it's more decent road bike. Is that what you have?
Yeah.
But were
Yeah.
you riding more of like just going to grocery or just riding with friends? How were you doing
Yeah,
it?
just if the weather was fair here in
Mhm.
Houston, if it wasn't too hot or raining, hey,
Okay.
this looks like a good Sunday or Saturday. Let's just go ride
1 hour?
bikes.
1
Yeah,
hour?
1
2
hour
hours? Okay.
tops.
That's it?
Maybe,
1 hour?
yeah, 1 hour, maybe 10 miles.
Okay.
Okay. And then
So
how
about-
was your swimming? Where were you with your
Yeah, I
swimming?
was going to ask you about that.
Boy, I hadn't swam in a very long time. I mean, I went through
Ice cream?
class like Gus and Goldie is a thing here in Texas where it's like two fishes and you go to class and they teach you, but you're a kid, you're a small kid.
Oh, so
And
cute.
I wish I had pictures of that one, but and then I never really swam. I mean, I would tell myself, oh, I can swim, and
Yeah.
but never competitive, never long distance.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Okay. Well, so I before our live training, I did pull up one of your first videos. So those feisty foxes, I'm sure you probably have seen. My unmute, there you go. Like we help our athletes in the technique for swim, bike, run, and one of those that David actually posted, and this was back in March. Okay, so this was his swim back then. So I just pulled it. That was March 3rd. So hopefully I can let me make sure there's volume. All right, let's check it out. Okay. All right. Definitely we need to work on the gigs. Let's be nice to David because this is his first videos. Okay. I know some of you guys have posted your first videos. So which is great because now you're getting a lot of help. Okay. And whenever you share, something, especially if you're receiving training peaks, I incorporate that on your workouts. Okay. So like, how can we fix this? So right now, okay. So as you can see here, this is something that we want to correct. This is a big thing, the big bending. Like he was like really open legs, bending legs, sinking legs, and then head lifting, of knee there. So it's like a running motion. Okay. So what we want is that we want you to kick. So, like I went through this one and, like on the left, because there's a lot of snaky, like not streamlined. That was back March 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
8 months forward. So 8 months forward, I talked to David during the race strategy call, and I said, David, let's have you self-seed yourself at 1 hour, 20 minutes. 1 hour, 20 minutes. And guess what he did? He over exceeded my expectation. He put 119.
Nice.
16th out of his age group. Did you think about that? Did you know you were gonna play 16th age group?
No, I didn't know I was in a place, but I knew I was going to hit my time.
There you go. I love it.
I was super confident.
I love the confidence. Okay.
I was.
And let me tell you what he had done actually. During training, he did not have any open water swim.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was pool.
Yeah.
Okay, so my best estimate of 120, I'm like, okay, I said, David, I know you can swim much faster than this, but because it's open water, so I best estimate it, and I'm like, okay, 120. And also, one of the worries of David before going to the Ironman is that, coach, I've never worn my wetsuit. I need you to wear your wetsuit at least so it fits. So he actually, wore his wetsuit in the pool, before going to the Ironman. So the confidence went up. You were gonna say something, David.
And something I didn't tell you, but
Yeah.
the day before the race, I changed my wetsuit.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
What happened?
what?
Yeah. I
Sleeveless?
just felt really claustrophobic
Oh, okay.
with the
Yeah.
one that I had, and it was a medium large. I tried on a large.
Okay.
I felt so much better,
Comfort.
more comfortable, less
Awesome.
claustrophobic, more flexible. And I
Gotcha.
think that had also a lot to do with me hitting my time, because
Good
when
job.
I was with the other wetsuit and I tried swimming in the pool, I just felt very tight, constricted. I couldn't breathe well. I was very slow. I was swimming like 2:05 my 100 yards, and I'm like, I know I'm faster.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to worry you because I
Nah,
changed
I won't be worried.
equipment.
No. And actually, it's based on the data, and I'm glad you actually jumped right into it. So everyone, like what you guys are getting here is that, as you can see, 8 months prior to Ironman, David didn't really know how to swim with proper technique. David, what was your background on swimming? You said like long time ago, like nothing. Not even doing swimming. You're doing Orange Theory. You're lifting like 1 hour.
CrossFit, Spartan. Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with swimming.
Yeah, and as you guys know, like swimming is very technical. So, but that within 8 months, just working the pool, following the plan, and what I would love for you guys to do if you are doing your swimming, and we mentioned this one in some of our other live training, is that you would want to address technique, speed, endurance. And this one it's just a no-go for David. It was hard, but then he got the confidence, which is good. He was not confident until he actually tested. And then that was one of the missing pieces that we had. And I'm really, really happy when he did that. Okay. So
Let's see in the group who else has the swimming be kind of the thing that's holding them back right now from signing up for an Ironman. Like that's the thing. Swimming, the open water, that's the thing that's holding you back. Let's see it.
Yeah. Or like I think the Ironman, because it's long, 2.4, a lot of athletes, like, oh, that's a lot, 2.4. I can't even finish 500 yards. So is that, like, are you one of those that like, that's long? I don't even know how to breathe. I don't even know how to kick. Like you just saw here, like David didn't know how to kick. Like it was sinking. He was struggling. It was a lot of energy. Especially for him, it's like, he has this competitive side, but then if the technique is not working out, it's going to be hard, know?
And this was my longest open water swim ever.
Yeah. Everything was longest ever. Okay.
Yes.
Gloria says me. Dean says definitely worries me, the swimming. Yeah. And then Cook says I'm scared of open water and how to kick.
Yeah. Or cramping during the open water, especially when you kick too much. And then, like other things that could be causing the cramp as well. Now, who here, we talk about David, not even going for full marathon, not even doing half marathon, not even riding longer than 1 hour of bike, but he still did it, and I want you guys to listen like his story, mainly because you may be one of those like, oh, it's because of this, that's why I'm not signing up. But here we are, we have David here who have the challenges that you may be, experiencing, but he did not allow that. Okay. So now, David, tell us like, how was the, let me see here. So we talked about.
So he signed up. He signed up. He pushed the button. Sign up. And then what happened then? So it's February. You probably were part of the Ironman and Beyond group. Like, how did you decide to even like reach out and seek for help, or like what happened there?
Well, actually, I didn't know who to talk to. I had bought in a book on
Mm,
swimming,
mm.
and I was just going to do a lot of,
Read.
YouTube videos.
Mhm.
And then somebody from the group reached out and asked if I was open to speak to a person that was an expert in the field.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, sure. It was a free consultation. That's how, I was like, all right, it's free. Yeah.
Of course, why
um,
not?
why not? Well, I have nothing to lose. And that's when they introduced me to Vanetta and Shangrila. And from there, I really enjoyed the energy and what they offered, and I decided to give it a try.
I think when you were talking also, you were talking about like, oh, a trainer, the power meter, the tri bike. Like you were telling me a lot, like I gotta buy these things, right? But
Yeah.
you finish this Ironman without buying a trainer. And
Yeah.
also there were times that, you couldn't ride outdoors because it's already dark, right? And you
Mhm.
go ride where? Is it Peloton or spin bike at the gym?
Peloton. Mhm.
Peloton, right? And then we were using the power meter of like what the Peloton is showing, so we know the base, so I can actually tell you. And then when the weather was much better, right? So
Yeah.
so for everyone, like if you don't have a trainer, that's not a deal breaker either, like you can. And also, like I was telling him like, hey, there's some discount here. No, but then he had to go look at his budget. I said like, no problem. We can figure this one out. And actually he did not have to buy a power meter because he was investing on a tri bike, okay, so that's another challenge, which what's fortunate is that he was able to like invest on it because he really wanted. And then, as you guys know, to me, so for everyone, do you really need a tri bike, an Ironman? It's a nice to have personally. If you want to be fast, yes, it'll be aerodynamic. But for me, when I started, I did not have a tri bike. I actually went for a road bike, and it was a really, yeah, it was like about 1,000, 1,000. So, but I had to go through it and I finished a full Ironman. But luckily, David was able to buy a tri bike and he got it 1 month prior to a full Ironman.
That was a
So
very last minute thing.
yeah, so who here, like, okay, I'm trying to save up money for a tri bike. Let me just do the training. Are you guys one of them? Because I know some of you might be that person. Like, if you're doing a road bike, are you riding a road bike or tri bike? Yeah, put in a comment below. So, like it's a two-way conversation. It'll be good to know who is here. Yeah. So how did it feel? Well, first, congrats on your tri bike, which is probably a birthday present, Christmas present. Right?
Yeah, for at least 3-4 years.
Were you excited? Were you excited you finally got it?
I was really excited. I did a lot of reading. I did a lot of research. I had hearted a couple and they got sold. And I was going to end up having to borrow one from a friend. And man, at the very last minute, through some sacrifice, financially, my wife said, let's do it. Let's buy it. So I got it and I was scared of it. I was really scared of it.
Yes.
It really humbled me.
Yeah. Tell us about that fear, that fear.
So I've always thought that I was a good, bike rider. Never really fell. As a kid, I didn't use training wheels. I had already a really big bike for my age, and I would spend, a lot of time on my bike. And going into a tri bike, it's the tires are very thin. I had never had experience with aero bars. I had never had experience clipping into a bike. And so I fell, and naturally that shocked me. It shook me, and I didn't want to ride my bike. I was really scared. And I remember one of my longest rides, I didn't do it with clips. I did it with just regular shoes. And then I remember you telling me, okay, next time do it with one shoe clipped in and one shoe not. And I did it, and I felt a little more comfortable until I finally, decided to clip, both shoes. And I did an 80-mile ride. And then that was it. The next thing I know, I'm doing the Ironman on my tri bike.
I know. So now hearing from David, I'm sure there are a lot of other athletes, and you're not the only one. I know there's several people who's like trying to like, okay, try bike. The position is aggressive. Next thing is that the clipping, unclipping. Okay.
Yes.
David wasn't really clipping. Remember, he just started 1 hour riding on a road bike then, right? And that was it. That was what he was doing before signing up, before February. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has a tri bike. Now he had to learn. So treat it like when you're training on something new, treat it with have a system or have a method, still step by step, just like when you train for running, it has to be step by step. And also you have to respect and actually acknowledge the fear first, because that actually, when you have fear, that lowers the confidence. And then now that affects the way you hold the way you balance your bike. Okay. Unfortunately, David doesn't have, like a trainer, like how I would usually train another person who has a train. Hey, let's go for a trainer, get used to it first, clip, unclip on a trainer. He doesn't have it. So the next thing is that, like, he had 1 month. Again, it's a step by step. I have to respect his fear and make sure that he feels okay, because I want him to enjoy his training. So yes, we had to go through, okay, just get comfortable of just holding it. Don't worry about the clip. Just get it done. Get the shifting. Make sure you know how it is to shift. I said, can you find hills there? Coach, no hills. All right, let's do what we got to do. And then next thing, okay, let's have you clip one shoes. Still shift. Okay, step by step. Guess what? The longest ride that David had done for the Waco, it was only 80 miles. We want more, we want more. But guess what? So we talked about the challenge, which is the tri bike, right? You had to go through it. Okay. And the next thing is that, like, okay, we want volume, which is, like normally what a triathlete would say, like, oh, okay, I'm going to do 2.4 miles, 100 or 112-mile bike, or like a full marathon. We did not do that. We have to customize the training that fits to his schedule, to his lifestyle. On his training, on his weekends, he doesn't have every weekend. There will be weekends that all he has is only 2 hours tops. Okay. And sometimes it's not perfect, because sometimes, he would feel like, I'm still sore, coach, but
family things and work things always, there's things that need to be taken care of. You can't just like go out for a whole day.
Yep. We want to make sure his family is happy. The wife is happy, especially invested the bike, right? You need to make sure that the daughter is happy, that his son, he has 2 kids. Okay. 12 years old. And how old is the daughter, David? 9. Damn. 9 and 12. Yeah. And you also take David, your son, to, is that like
ice skating?
Ice skating. Good for
He's
him.
in figure skating. Yeah.
Wow. Damn. That's a hard one. Good job, buddy. All right. So, on his bike, he only got to 80 miles. Okay. That was it. Okay. But we do know, like, we gave our best. Like, if you think about it, I should have done this one. I should have done this. But I talked to David, we did our best. I don't think there's any other way that we could have done better. Right. So now, and that's kind of the talking that I would love to, like, impart to you all. Like, if, like, training is not perfect, you do your best. And when you do your best, there's no resentment at the end, because the best is the best. We got to respect that. Right. So how did it feel? Like, actually finishing a 112-mile bike, David, with hills, 3,000 feet elevation gain, your longest bike ever.
Oh man, it was hard.
Yeah, it was
very hard.
The wind was really hard.
The wind was very strong. Luckily, I had been training in heat here in Houston. It's very humid. It's very hot.
Yes.
So I was not affected by the heat, but I saw a lot of people that were coming out of state that weren't used to Texas heat, that they were just stopping and falling on the floor and giving up because they couldn't take the heat. But for me, it was all the hills, the ups and climbs. Yeah. Here in Houston, it's flat. There's no hills. So that was very hard to adapt. And then the wind made it very difficult as well.
And I know that there's a high DNF rate also on that Waco, Texas as well. All right. Yeah. And then the next one, we're going to go after the run. You guys are enjoying this, everyone? Are you guys enjoying it? Are you guys learning? Put hashtag value. If you're getting a lot here, or like your questions that's popping up, don't hesitate, because this one is a two-way conversation. Vinella, any questions so far?
Yeah, we have a few questions, but did you want to finish about the run first?
Yeah. The next one is the run portion. Okay, the run portion. So the run portion. So David had several things that's happening. Okay. And sometimes, like he would tend to like, coach, I want to make that up, that long run right next day. But we need to balance body maintenance also, making sure that you recover well and it's the right timing. Okay. So what we have done is that making sure that we help. Okay, right here. So everyone, for you all, you want to make sure that you address training, nutrition, body maintenance, mental fitness, and race strategy. Training and body maintenance, making sure that the body recovers well, and then know what proper intensity, how fast you have to go or how slow. Because some of the training that you've done, David, is not fast. Some of them are fast. Some of them are not fast, right? How is that for you in actually building up the volume? Can you believe that you actually built the volume within 8 months? I bought a book when I wanted to finish a full marathon. It was like how to non-runner to a full marathon for 6 months. Okay, that was a book that I got like long time ago. But you finished a full marathon, your first ever full marathon.
Full marathon. Yeah.
On a full Ironman.
Yeah. I remember one of the workouts that you gave me was a 4-hour workout run. I was like, what? This is the longest ever. And when I finished it, it was 20 miles. And I was just shocked that I'm like, wow, I just ran 20 miles. That's like the longest ever. And I couldn't believe it. And then I made me think, future to when I was going to complete the Ironman. I'm like, I still have 6 more. But before that, I have the 112 bike and the 2.4 mile swim. Oh my goodness. And I was so tired. So volume, I think it was almost a challenge too, to train for it.
Yeah. So knowing that you finished the full Ironman, did you ever think, like, wow, like what are the things that actually came up to you, like the challenges that we did not cover just yet? Is there anything else that you could think of?
No, I think you mentioned that we only got up to 80 miles on the bike. So when I finished the the 112 with the hills that I had not trained for, with the wind that I was not expecting, I couldn't get off of my bike.
Yeah.
As soon as I got to the finish line of the bike portion, I was stuck. I could not get myself off the bike. It took me a couple of seconds. And then I walked the bike to the transition to T2, and I sat down, and for a moment I'm like, I can't get up. I'm cramping and everything hurts. I still have a marathon, but I just pushed through. I grabbed on my gear, I put on my running shoes, and I went at it. And the running was hard. It was very hard.
But guess what? Here you are. Let me show you.
You are an Ironman. Well done, Mike.
That's David. He's running. Look at that. You didn't even sweat. Woohoo! Still smiling. All right. I ordered some drone there. Make sure that over there that we get you. Okay. Congratulations on that one. So how do you feel? Does that still, how do you feel like you actually did it, David?
Oh, man, I've been I've been feeling amazing all week. I've been wearing my hat all week. I've already scheduled my tattoo appointment. um,
Awesome.
yeah, no, it's a great feeling. It's a great accomplishment, not only because it's an Ironman, but it was part of my bucket list, but also because my family was able to be there. My
Your
kids
dogs.
were able to be there. My dogs, everybody was there. Everybody went and supported me, and it's an amazing experience. So much that I'm doing it again in April.
Yes, you already
Yes.
signed up. That's the Woodland Hills.
The
That's
Woodlands. Yeah.
amazing. That's April. So, as you guys heard, okay, no open water swim. Didn't really know swimming. The running, the longest was 10K. He was basically he got himself back from the COVID year. Okay. Luckily, there's Orange Theory, got him back to consistency in 2021. He's like, I'm confident. Let me do my bucket list now, without even knowing how to get there. But he just like, I want to do this. I've been wanting to do this. Of course, it's not easy. There's the family, time management. Okay. What is it that you want to or need to invest at the time? Like timing wise, and also no trainer, no tri bike when he started, but he went for it. Okay. So anyone, what are your other challenges that we may not have talked about or addressed?
I have a good question from Yelena.
All right.
She asked a good question for David. Do you really need a coach for an Ironman?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Like, what was it about Feisty Fox coaching that made you decide to even get coaching?
So I know I've shared this already with you, Shangrila, but I show you off. I literally Google your name and I say, look, this is who my coach is. She's a 2-time Guinness World Record holder because she's done this and this and that. And people are like, that's your coach? I'm like, that's my coach. And they're like, okay, so she knows what she's talking about. She knows how she's programming. Like, I would listen to her too. I'm like, yeah. So back to the question, yes, you need a coach. Just like you need a coach for when you're training for a Spartan race, for a marathon, for, CrossFit, while you're paying for Orange Theory and you have someone guiding you through those workouts. Like an Ironman is not something that you just wake up one day and then within a week you say, I'm going to do it. No, it takes planning. It takes investment. It takes a coach guiding you, making sure that you're injury free, that you're getting the right, workouts done in the right amount of time, that's going to take care of you, but that has also been there, that has done it and has done above and beyond. So that's what I saw in Shangri-La. So I was like, yeah, I believe in her.
I just use a whip on David. David, how's it going? Oh, we got
And I'll tell you, I'm very strong-headed, and I'm very no, I want to do it my way.
I know you do.
And no.
I have to. So with David, what I've done with David, okay, David, you want to do that? Here's 2 options. Here's what you're gonna do. Because we know negotiate.
Yes.
Because he wants to do more training. And I'm like, David, we need to taper. Yes, you're gonna work out, but we need to taper. Yeah, to answer your question also, is that Yelena. Hey Yelena, good question. I'm answering as an athlete. When I started, I had several coaches, actually. There's the goods and the bads. And what I've done is actually I pick like everything that I'm doing right now as an athlete and as a coach. I pick the best things that I've learned. And actually they're elite coaches, world record holder themselves. And I want my time to be used wisely. And I'm only going to follow a person who I respect, who knows what they're doing, because I don't want to waste my time. And so to me, until now, honestly, I still have a coach in any areas that I do, in business, in sports. I still have my coach, my mindset coach. I had bodybuilding coach. So because it saves time. It saves time of like you overthinking, and then and you also have a sounding board. Like sometimes I'm just like in a bubble, like whatever I'm thinking. But it's different when another person can actually understand you, and actually like there's a conversation. Hey, is this right? Or maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just afraid, but maybe it's not. you know. So that, and also someone who pushes you. But to me, you know, like the coaches that I've had, they care. Like I could really feel that they do care. You know, they're not in for the money only, but they care. You know, there's a relationship. So find that person that, you know, that cares, who knows what they're doing, and who actually is, you know, with you with the goal. They have the same goal as you do. I hope that helps. All right. Let's see. Any other questions?
Well, I do wonder, would you have ever tried to do it on your own, David? Or what do you think would have happened if you had tried to do it on your own?
Well, knowing myself, I would have probably gotten injured.
Yeah.
Gotten injured because my way of training is volume, volume, volume. If something hurts, you just suck it up and you keep going, and more volume and more volume. And my wife will say, yeah, he breaks himself and tries to keep going.
Yeah.
So I had a Spartan coach when I was doing my Spartan races, and I would get hurt, and he is a physical therapist doctor, right? He's a PT, and he'd be like, you need to take a week or 2 weeks off. I'm like, no, you're my doctor, you're my Spartan coach, but you're my friend. So
Oh no.
I would headbutt with him. You know, he would tell me, no, I'm not training you because you need to recover. So
Wow.
I know that if I wouldn't have gotten, you know, with Feisty Fox and then with Coach Shangrila, I probably would have not have accomplished what I did. I probably would have injured myself, and it would have prevented me from completing the Ironman.
I didn't know you're that stubborn. You have been a good athlete. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. All right. I'm impressed about that. Good job. So yeah, anyone else who have questions? Anyone, did that help? You know, so like the hope for, you know, our goal for this live training is for us to break the barriers. Like, what are the barriers? Because, you know, like when I was aiming for, you know, like big goals, I had to overcome them. And I want, you know, like David, who actually like him doing it, right? If you heard like where he came from, like that was 8 months ago. That was 8 months ago only. And now an Ironman, and gonna have another Ironman when November, December, January, February. So in about 6 months, I think. If
Yes.
April, in about 6 months. And not injured. He's back to work. He's back with his family. And he got his tri-bike, happy family. Vinata, you want to add something? David?
Yeah, I think that's super helpful. And Yelena said also thank you. That's helpful. My next question, I guess, would be, what do you think made the biggest difference for you working together with Coach Shangrila and the rest of the team?
Just access to the community and being able to, you know, if I had a question, if I had a doubt, you know, when I did feel something on my legs, or I could just ask and I had a response right away. So I think that was really important. That really made a big difference. Just seeing how many people care, and I'd get messages from a lot of people, hey, join this call, hey, we have this live training, and that was also really awesome to have.
I'm glad.
Why was that? Why do you think that was helpful to you?
Just because I had those resources like here, you know, I didn't have to, you know, ask or search. Like everything was just readily available for me. So it made it very easy.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
To hear. All right. Well, everyone, I hope you get a lot from that, a lot of value. Put hashtag value. Let's thank David. This is what we do in Ironman and Beyond. We give back to the community. We do this live training. So at least you're able to like, oh, if he did it, why am I not doing it? Like, or if he did it, damn, that's amazing. I think I could do that too next year. Maybe not full Ironman, or maybe full Ironman, or maybe you want to do like me, step by step, right? There's nothing wrong about that because it's your life. All right. So you do what you do, you know, like what's your comfortable. Okay. So now if you're like, after all this, you're like, Coach, you did not talk about more of this one. I still am having challenge on this one. All right. So we have that 15-minute free call. It's put hashtag game plan down below. And Vineta and I will talk about it. Like, what are you having problem? Can we even help you? Because sometimes some of the other athletes that like get on the call, they're not ready. Could be like the timing, because timing is very important. You got to be 100%, like it's not about, because we can't coach everyone either. We only coach those who are ready, those who are ready to level up, those who are like, shit, I don't want to get hurt. I'm done doing it on my own. Or like, I'm done overthinking. Okay. So this one is a free call, just 15 minutes, put hashtag game plan. If you'd like to talk with me and Vineta so we can figure it out. Are you ready for the next, for you, like actually achieving that bucket list? Are you ready? After all this, come on now. You gotta be ready. David here. David is a great example. David, before we let you go, all right. So we want to learn from you. All right. So let's say going back to the old David 8 months ago. Do you still remember? I hope you do. Yes, yeah. You gotta. So like there are other athletes just like you back then, like I want to do that. I want to do an Ironman. What are the top things that we can take away from you? Like some insights or like what advices that you can give to yourself when you were back there 8 months ago, wanting to be an Ironman finisher? Just 3.
Get a coach.
Get
a coach. And believe and trust in the training. I kept seeing that in videos, and it sounded so cliche and broken record, but it is so true. Trust in the training, trust in your coach, trust the path you're on. Don't second guess yourself. Don't doubt yourself.
Yes.
Then have fun.
Yes.
Have fun doing it. The process, the journey. Enjoy every minute of it, because it's so much better at the end when you're crossing that finish line.
Yes, I remember it. I had a call with Justin, like, David, this is it. You've been waiting for this one. David, you did the training. You're going to cross that finish line. Cherish every moment, every mile. And you did. And you even burn muscle. All right. Well, everyone, let's thank David. David, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for having us here and for you listening to us. We do this live training every week, usually Friday at 4:30 p.m. PST. We do the announcement prior. Hopefully you're getting our emails, so we do reminders as well. But that's basically it for now. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks. Bye.
Yay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.